country is in a very dark place right now. But even after everything the deep state has done to me, I will never give up on America. Mark my words, in 2024, we will win back the White House. We will make America great again. I have no doubt about it. They come at me from left. They come at me from right. The rhinos, the communists, the Marxists, the fascists. We will not only survive, we will be stronger than ever before.
Let's hope so. And we have to win that White House. Now, joining me now, Don Jr., host of Triggered with Don Jr. on Rumble, which is outstanding, by the way. Okay, Don, another indictment. There's still more coming, apparently. There's another one coming from that George Soros piece of trash down in Atlanta. I know this is about old news for you guys by this point in time, but it's not my dad. He's my president, but he ain't my dad. It's your dad. What's the son think at this point in time?
Honestly, Jesse, I think we're built a little differently at this point. After 7 years of Russia, I'm like, I spoke with my father. I was like, oh, now they're coming after you for the death penalty. It's like, join the club. They tried doing that to me when they wanted to accuse me of treason, and the head of the Intelligence Committee did so on national TV numerous times, 5 years ago, 6 years ago during that whole hoax. So, it's not a normal response. But that's where we are. This is what we've gotten used to at this point. Strangely enough, these indictments, they always break exactly one day after what would be otherwise major scandal if we actually had a media rather than regime propagandists, et cetera. So this broke the day after Devon Archer. The first time that they showed credible funds, that was the first Mar-a-Lago indictment. Then you had, sort of the Biden sweetheart deal for Hunter Biden for, tax fraud, for crimes, and then, minor blanket immunity for anything else he could have ever possibly done, just thrown in the mix with this little plea deal. The day the judge is like, wait a minute, why would we do this? This makes no sense whatsoever. They add more indictments to Trump. Of course there's going to be more, because apparently the 460 years and now apparently the death penalty added into it is not enough to slow down Donald Trump. They have to go further. It's a sham. It's real, but that's why we have to stop pretending that these people are decent people, that they have morals. It's why we have to fight the game the way they do. Otherwise, they're going to win, and we're not going to recognize our country very quickly.
Don, I'm glad you said that about the sham thing, because when I'm trying to wake people up to how evil these people are, and I'm telling people we need red state AGs to start arresting Democrats, and people are, oh, Jesse, you're being over the top. I get the sense that there are a bunch of people on the top and bottom on the right who look at the ridiculousness of the charges and dismiss it because, of course, yes, they're ridiculous. Yes, but these people don't need real charges, and especially in that court system. These people are dead serious. They're coming for him.
Yeah, listen, if they get the win, they'd put him in jail for the rest of his life. It doesn't have to be real. But, in a D.C. court, you think they're not going to get what they want? I mean, that's the desire. It's why they tried doing the Florida stuff. They tried putting it in D.C. originally so they could shop for a jury that doesn't care about the rules. It's just their way to get Donald Trump. And you're right. The Republicans, I'm watching the Republicans and many of the other Republicans, frankly, running for president in this primary. They're adapting the Adam Schiff, Liz Cheney, January 6th, Adam Kinzinger talking points because it suits them really well right now. But what happens one day if and when, and I hope it never happens to probably not all, because there's been one or two that have actually been decent, but the rest of them, I hope they never assume power, because guess what? It's going to happen to them, and they will have done nothing about it. You see it with Ron DeSantis a couple of weeks ago when it first started happening. I remember, well, the weaponization of our government, that's not really real. Yesterday, I will take on the weaponization. Like, no, you won't. You're going to do whatever your billionaire donors tell you to do right now. You flip-flop on every major issue, whether it's what you told Tucker, and then you flip-flop on Ukraine 3 days later. What's really sad, Jesse, is you're right. I'm realizing we have no bench. We have no people in the lineup with balls. Frankly, the only other person I've seen out there actually fighting the insanity of what we're going on is Vivek. So the people that I actually had great hopes for, because, I want us to have a deep bench beyond Trump and in the future for 28 and beyond. I'm realizing they're just part of that same weak rhino establishment. And until they wake up to that, or until we have guys with enough balls to actually get in the game, it's over. And, that is scary. Because these guys are sitting back and watching their own demise in the hopes of, whether, I don't know what they're looking to do. I guess, go from 0.02% in a primary to 0.03%. And maybe that gives them the conservative talking point guy on CNBC role or so. I can't quite figure it out, but it's sad to watch.
You want to watch our special on George Washington? It's freaking awesome. Well, you can. All you have to do is become a First TV supporter. That gives you access to all of our specials on demand, and it's cake. All you have to go to is thefirsttv.com/support. Thefirsttv.com/support. Become a supporter. Enjoy learning about George Washington.